Hey folks, over on the bench, had a question come in via Facebook that just made me go, oh, let's look at this. The viewer, and one more time before I even get started on that, if you want your name mentioned, make sure you explicitly tell me in comments, otherwise I won't. It's just trying to respect your privacy, but if you want the 15 minutes of fame, so to speak, make sure you tell me. Since I've been exploring the web radio you've shown in a few videos, I really think it's a cool little tool to have. Is there any way to use it more like a real radio? I mean with buttons and a dial or a knob. And then a few minutes later you respond, it's the Twente site. Sorry, I forgot to say which one. Because yeah, I think I have talked about a couple different ones. But yeah, so here we are at the University of Twente. Again, you've all seen this one before. That is the actual radio, what it looks like, by the way. That's a clever piece of design, and they did it from scratch. So, can we control this with a keyboard? So we can take a quick little look at the keys that are available to use on a keyboard, right? So we have, JK, left arrow, right arrow for frequency up and down, but then we can add in Shift, Control, Alt, to speed it up. ULCAF used for the mode, USB, LSB, upper sideband, lower sideband, CW, Morse code, AM or FM. Interesting, they don't do one for AM sync, which is a supported mode on there. That's kind of a bummer because I use AM sync quite a bit with the large broadcasters, but yeah, no big deal. Capital W, so Shift W and W for wider or narrow, the filter, sorry. Z, capital Z, Control Z for center, zoom, waterfall. G to enter a frequency. M for mute, capital V for volume up, lowercase v for volume down. And then we can change the VFOs, AB. That's kind of cool. Let's take a gander here. So keyboard is enabled. We're now unmuted. Shift V for volume up. Lowercase v for volume down. Right arrow goes by the hundredths of a kilohertz. Okay. I'm already centered, so that's not going to be much. So Control Z centers and zooms to max. Yeah, if you can't tell, I have my cheater button that says find the pointer. Control multiple times. Let's just try that one more time. Yeah. Can zoom out. Is that zooming out? 4,500. Yeah, that's zooming out. Shift Z zooms in. I'm just trying to, and then Control Z. Okay, it goes to max. So I'm just trying to verify our key buttons, the primary ones we'd use. W, lowercase w, narrows the filter. Shift W widens the filter. That would have been handy yesterday. Okay. And we check the modes. JK. Oh, same thing. It's only going down 100th at a time. Okay. All right, so let's mute that. Now, again, showing you a keyboard. I have one very similar to this. I thought I bought it on Amazon, but I looked in my order history. I didn't, and I don't recall where I got it. I'm sorry, but this one appears to have all of the same functions, although it's slightly more expensive. I think I paid $17 for the one I have. I wonder if I got it at Adafruit. Let's just take a quick look here. Yeah, I'll give them the ad click. Programmable keyboard. It is possible I got it at Adafruit. Or not. What else would you call it? Macro keyboard? Oh, yeah. Maybe we're getting there. Maybe not. Wow, there's a lot of pages. 5 key. Nope. I'm not going to dig too far. It's not that important. Oh, now something like that could be. That's interesting. It gives me more ideas. Every page changes like, oh, I could do that. All right, let's just close that. This is me, right? Squirrel. Getting distracted by something else. That's pretty cool. Okay, so like I said, this is similar to the one I have, except the base is 3D printed. You can see this one is white with 2 acrylic layers sandwiching a circuit board. There you go. So sandwiching the circuit board are 2 clear layers, and then a white acrylic layer top and bottom, and then the keys. Mine is essentially the same thing, but this whole bottom, stop zooming, all of this is 3D printed, which makes me think mine might be a lot more upgradable. So let's just go back and take a look at this. All right, let's minimize that for the moment. I'm going to bring up my screenshot of that drop-down box. Oh, I do need to know which way do my keys go. And I have it open. So I'm just going to keep this one open as a reference. Well, here, I'm going to slide it down just so I can see my keyboard underneath this one, which is this one right here, the 5 key. So the USB port, the closest one is key 1. All right, so let's make key 1. Let's just work with volume right now. Key 1, we're going to make the volume, or the mute, sorry. Key 2, because of the way it's oriented on my desk, I'm going to make that volume up. Below that on my desk is key 3, which we want to be just volume down, will be volume down. Key 4, it would be nice if we could cycle modes through this, but you can't really cycle modes with one key this way. You could programmatically, but not with their utility. So we got mute, volume up, volume down. Let's just make this frequency up and then frequency down. So we have mute, volume up, volume down, frequency up, frequency down. Again, we're matching these right here and these right here. We'll go ahead and download that to the keyboard. Let's bring back up our radio. So we want to start at the top. Mute, worked. Volume up, works. Volume down, works. Frequency up is working. Frequency down is working. And let's mute. Okay, so that worked. So there's one simple way you can do it. This makes me want to actually take out a Raspberry Pi Pico and a bunch of switches and build a control interface. Let me think a minute. All right, so after a little bit of coffee and a little bit of poking around, I came up with this link. I'll put all the links down in the description. I always try to. If I don't put one in there and you catch it, leave a comment and I'll post up the right link. So this is almost a year ago, 11 months ago. This kind of gives us a little bit more info into what we're looking to do. It's all fairly straightforward. And there's our Pico. I don't know that I would solder them on. I might disagree with them on that, but if you're making it permanent, do a temporary fix, and when you know it all works, solder it. I would probably breadboard this out initially for testing. I like the insert coin to continue. Oh, see, now they built a custom. That's actually probably a little bit more work than most of you guys want to do. It's probably more work than I want to do, honestly. I'm kind of done with perf board, or proto board, the soldered version. Oh, and they give us some code, which is the good. It's always good if you can start with code, even if you're an experienced programmer. It gives you the basic foundations that you need. You know what the end result is, right? Or the end goal is, something like this. I would think maybe 8 to 10 buttons, and then a rotary knob like the viewer commented on. But you can easily, adapt this as needed. Let's see. And again, we're using the HID keyboard library, which is good because we're dealing with essentially keyboard functions. So we don't need to get carried away. Well, you really sent me down a rabbit hole there, but all right. So we have a functioning 5-button keyboard that works with our thing. We know that. We can turn the mute off, volume up, volume down, frequency up, frequency down. So let's mute that. Let's go back and look at this one more time. How do we... I want to change frequencies faster. So key 1, oops, sorry, I got to go to the other end. Key 4 is increment frequency. So now what I need to do is find out, let's just say we want to do a 5 kilohertz bump. Does one of these give us a 5 kilohertz bump? I'm going to unmute. Shift K. That's a 10. Actually, I like that one better. We're only going up by 5/10 or half a kilohertz, but that's probably a more usable bump. So I'm doing Shift J and K. So let's stay there. Delete. So we need to do Shift. What button am I working on? Key 4, which is going to be up. Shift K. Key 5 is going to be Shift J. All right, let's download that. That finished. Mute still works. Always check keys when you reprogram a keyboard. Now I'm going to do key 4, which should be up half. Yep. There you go. That's working. Mute. God, now I wish I had more keys. Thank you, dear viewer, for sending me down a rabbit hole I probably didn't need to go down. Anyway, I'll give you guys a quick listen to the buzzer. Let's see what's going on in the chat box. I'm trying to keep the volume down so it's not too bad. Whatever that is, it's quiet now. You can tell they've been busy. Quite a bit of chat, and then a reset at 1634 GMT. All right, I think that gives us along. So what did we... accomplish in the grand scheme of things. We set up 5 keys on this little keyboard. I'll take a picture of it and post it up right here in the video. But we have the key 1 is our mute. That's an interesting signal. All right, so key 1 is mute. Key 2 is volume up. Key 3 is volume down. Key 4 increments frequency up and down. I should say key 4 is up, key 5 is down. All right, one more time. Mute. Volume up, volume down. Frequency up. It sounds familiar, but I'm not quite sure what that one is. I don't know how well that audio is coming through there. Give you a little volume. Hey. We found a number station.
1 7 4 8 3 6 2 9 6.
Oh, here we go.
5.
Now we have an indicator.
1 8 1 1 9 0 3 5 8 9 6 1 7.
I'm going to check my mode against theirs. That's where it should be.
2 3 8 9 1 4 1 8.
How's that for a bonus? You got a number station to boot. Anyway, I hope that answered your question. Let me know if there's anything more. If viewers, if you guys want to see us delve into this more, maybe build something with a Raspberry Pi Pico, comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you can, I've started a Patreon page for the channel to try and get a little bit more support going so we can afford some bigger projects. All right, guys, that's it. We'll see you guys pretty soon. Later.